Howdy everybody, welcome to TieDye TV. First live stream. We're sitting here in we call it the summer house here at Stonehenge Gardens. And this has kind of been my second home for the last couple months. And I'm here with Kevin Smith tonight, and we're gonna be talking about some of his experiences and a lot of the things that we have going on here at Stonehenge and some of the other things that Kevin has going on with his project, the Seed House. And we're located in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. And the cool part of that is I grew up only maybe about 6 or 7 miles from here, but moved away, and not far away, but into the Lehigh Valley. And recently was contacted by a gentleman named Tom Rose to start doing some stuff up here because of my involvement with permaculture. And since then, well, for those who don't know, permaculture is this cool idea and principle-laden study. And one of the things about it is, make it simple. Identify the things that work and do more of it. And it typically is those things in nature. But the thing that I do well is this kind of production stuff. So I'm doing more of it and giving those people who are more experienced in permaculture and have a lot more design experience an avenue to share their experiences. And we've set this place up with a lot of technology over the last, maybe, what do you think, 2 months, I think it's been?
2 months.
You might see a little bit of ugliness behind me, but we're gonna cover that up in just a minute. But some screens and cameras, and we have the ability to do live streaming here, and we're gonna be telling you about some of the events we have going on in the near future. But being able to bring those to the masses, not only to the people who get to come here and experience the summer house and Stonehenge Gardens and all of the things we have going on, but sharing it about the world using technology. Hey, we got this great thing called the internet, so let's make great use of it. So I told you I was gonna cover up some of the ugliness, and you'll notice me doing this thing over here periodically, and that's because I'm doing all the tech. In addition to sitting here and talking with Kevin, I'm also running the show. Eventually, we're gonna let Kevin do a lot of the interviewing of some of our guests, and I'm just gonna go behind the board and make all these things switch. But tonight, it's just the two of us, and we got the technology to make it work. I got this cool package, and I've been hanging on to this for quite a while. And just telling you a little bit about my TieDye TV project. I had this vision of doing this almost 2 years ago. I was at a regenerative agriculture / permaculture / prepper retreat, and we were talking about doing video, and I haven't done live production video for several years. And it came up, so I started designing some different things, and my wife and I, through the permaculture and homesteading, we were thinking about sharing stuff. I started doing some stuff just for tests, but I realized it was really cutting into my time to get things done, so we put it and shelved it and just now dug it back up. But when I started getting involved at Stonehenge and getting involved with Tom and Kevin and Alexis and Scott, I was like, oh, we need to dig that stuff out and really start pushing it. So my first video blogging thing I started this year was called the Tie-Dye Farmer. I love to wear tie-dyes. I love the style. I love the fashion. I love supporting the artists that make them. And really, in a permaculture way, it shows like biodiversity and pattern, and it's really kind of a great way of putting that on all the time. Anyway, I've been contacting some different tie-dye artists throughout the country, and a pair of people I've stumbled upon several months ago is Aaron and Nicole from All Tied Up. And just threw a lower third over here, and you can find their Etsy page. And this shirt was actually made by Aaron and Nicole, and they were awesome about doing a custom order for me. 6'7", quite large. I need the 4XLT, so I worked with a couple different tie-dye artists. I send them the shirts because very few people have 4XLTs in stock. So But when I was getting ready to start doing this project up at Stonehenge, and we were looking at the places, and I contacted Aaron and Nicole and wanted to take a look at getting a backdrop. And they were nice enough to say, yeah, we could do that. So I commissioned them to do this. They sent this to me several weeks ago, and I've been hanging on to it. So I told them I would do a live reveal. And I saw a picture of them making this, and I saw a picture, but it hasn't ever come out of the package. So everybody who's joining us will get to see this firsthand with us. And we're gonna throw this thing up. This thing is awesome. And
wow, all right.
So we're gonna cut to another camera shot and throw this up, and we'll do this camera here. And we're gonna throw this up in the background and hide the ugliness with beauty.
Wow, that's great. Love that.
So why don't you take that and see where you can get to, and I'll throw this your way. And
now, should I like kind of try to tie a corner off, you think? Or?
Yeah. Actually, I guess we should have got the duct tape, but I didn't do that. So
I could try. I mean, if I do this, there's a little,
little
naughty over here on this side.
So, well, boy, that was some of those production faux pas, but
let's see. There was some tape hiding out.
That was the one thing I didn't think about, is how we were going to keep the tie-dye up for the time.
Some tape, I don't know.
Little tape there, that will work. I got this all planned out for when it goes on the road.
Yeah.
Got the whole bag of clamps, but since it's in our somewhat studio space, I'll bring those with me today. Cool.
Nice.
So, thanks, Aaron, Nicole, love it, and
nice work. Yeah,
we're going to be taking this on the road with us, which we'll tell you about in a little while. Some of the different things that we have going on, and check out their Etsy page. They have some awesome stuff. This is, I believe, their chakra pattern. And they had some other really cool stuff with some deadhead bears and some other things you'll see me wear as we move around. But hey, we have a guest. We're going to talk about all of the stuff that he has going on. So the guest on our talk tonight is Kevin Smith, and he's a gentleman I've come to know just in the last couple months, but I feel like we've bonded pretty well.
Yeah.
And honestly, it couldn't have come at a better time. I think we probably met around November.
Yep.
And late October, I lost my best friend, and I think you're kind of filling that role for me pretty well. So, love hanging out with you. And we have these three initials that we use in the Regenerative Ag Facebook group. It's GSD, and you seem to epitomize that. And it's get shit done. And so we'll take a quick break, and I need to check out on something because something just popped up that I'm not aware of. But let's. We're going to be talking about his experiences and a lot of the things that we have going on here at Stonehenge, and some of the other things that Kevin has going on with his project, The Seed. Sorry about that. Left the browser window open somewhere else, and well, all of a sudden audio just started blasting away at us. So
hey, it's live TV. That's what happens.
Live TV. Hey, it's the first time, and hey, it's me kind of making all it go at this point.
Yeah,
so
awesome job in the whole startup so far, man. You're flying, doing great.
So anyway, Kevin is this guy, GSD, get shit done. And, you know, it just seems every time we talk, you got something else that you've taken on and just got taken care of. And that's the thing I love about you is you just, if there's a task out there, it doesn't matter how big, how small, and it's the big ones that amaze me. It's just...
Yeah, and I've learned too, I guess, initials, I guess it would be ABF, ask Brian first. Before you do anything, before you're getting ready to do something, ask Brian for advice or ideas or what's going on, because so many times you've helped me out in a pinch. And just creative ideas, being able to facilitate and further ideas and things like that. I think that's the great part of a creative relationship and collaborations, and that's what's so exciting for myself, just to meet someone in the same kind of groove and down to push boundaries and again, put stuff together, play, have fun, and see what we can do, you know.
And boy, are we pushing some boundaries, and we'll get into that because we're going to be talking about the future, but today we're going to talk a little bit about the past. We'll start there because you told me this story about this journey you made. When one of the first times I met you, you told me about the walk. And Kevin literally walked from Los Angeles to New York City. And I'm talking like sneakers on the ground walk all the way. And so I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about that history.
Sure. Yeah, which now we're starting, which today is special because it's actually the 10-year anniversary of when we completed this walk across the country. It was about over 4,000 miles. As Brian said, on foot. There was a whole bunch of us that kind of along the way joined the walk and kind of went through the whole making steps all the way across. About 4 of us that were kind of core members that started from Venice Beach in California and worked our way across. And our group was kind of revolved around stuff like this, a collaborative, creative group. We were actually also doing video production, working in TV and film, working for a production company. And, you know, we were living in Hollywood, and it was kind of one of those things starting to realize that, you know, we were kind of over that scene and realizing that even back then, stuff like this, what we're doing now, like we can create our own programming, we can create our own TV station, our own online network, which was a big part of our mission of we were trying to create this online network and encourage people to express themselves. And we had our cameras and we started a website and we were trying to see, you know, make music videos, use our cameras, use our laptops to edit, you know, still rudimentary back then, but, you know, it was definitely planting the seed to really this kind of setup what we have going on right now, being able to have a TV station kind of on the fly, a full production, multi-camera, computer, like just an amazing thing, you know, in any space pretty much.
And when you really think about this, 10 years ago, what like today was the complete of your walk. So, you know, technology has evolved dramatically. So.
Yeah, we still had flip phones. We had like a Razor flip phone, I think. It took pictures, but it, you know, I can't even remember what type of pixel, you know, camera, like 4 megapixel camera possibly, and hooking up, you know, that kind of thing. It's mind blowing what, you know, with smartphones today and how much technology has advanced in 10 years of being able to go live like we're doing now or other things. Like just thinking back, like, you know, yeah, because we didn't have those type of technologies at our fingertips, but we were projecting those type of things for sure and knew they were on the way and having a lot of interesting discussions town to town with other people of what's going to be happening and how, you know, to prepare and get ready for that type of technological wave. So,
I mean, a generation will be lost on this idea nowadays, but you told me you came home with literally a gym bag full of tape.
Yeah.
And, you know, I came through that. I mean, obviously I came through days where we actually had analog tape and we spliced things, but DV tapes, you know, nowadays.
DV, which still seem like, wow, it's so small compared to the large VHS. But
Betacam, you know, you know, if you had a Betacam, you could fit like your entire life on an SD card packed full of into a Betacam tape now. So, Yeah, it's great that technology has made it so convenient for us to do these things. And but when we talk about it, it's kind of amazing that you guys were able to do that even 10 years ago, carry that much media and have enough cameras and have the media to do all of that along that entire journey.
Yeah, and yeah, we were still able to be, going to different people's houses and using laptops, using computers. We go to internet cafes at the time. I don't know if that's still a thing, internet cafes, but go into those type of places and upload our pictures, download our cameras, and things like that. So yeah, it was set up on a nice network even back then to be able to still be a part of like this emerging digital kind of technology, because we were also, along with the audio visual, recording music, making, different tracks and different things like that. So it was just, the amazing power of, to think about 10 years before that, what kind of money or gear you would have needed, to produce a movie or a film or a documentary. It's extraordinary how much the price point comes down, as you're, for materials for that kind of stuff. So
it's great that we have this technology and it allows us to do what we're doing right here. And it's nice to be able to implement those things into regular life. I mean, I'm a cord cutter. I don't have cable television anymore, and that's kind of the reason why I thought about doing this whole TieDye TV project, because we watch YouTube all the time. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and people can make content, and I just wanted to get together with somebody like yourself and work on making good content. And realistically, as you move forward, you look back at community television studios of the 80s, and we have the capability of doing equivalent stuff now here. Just the two of us sitting here today, So, but back to the walk. I mean, we're really talking a little over 3,000 miles, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a little over like 4,000 miles. We kind of zigzagged up and down. There were some like power spots that we were trying to check out and places that we wanted to make sure we visited and walked through. So kind of took us down, down as low as through Arizona. We even dipped down into like Sedona and things like that, but then went up as far north as South Dakota and up through the Badlands and Rapid City, South Dakota was probably about the highest north we went, and then kind of leveled out and kind of came straight across. But yeah, it ended up taking pretty much a solid year to get all the way across. Just kind of taking it day by day, doing about, our goal was like usually around 15 miles a day, but sometimes we'd get up in the 20s, sometimes less, and then we'd take days off if we weren't feeling it, or sometimes we also had to, we'd interact with the towns and find, places to go visit, or art places, or open mics that we'd find, and we'd stay in a town for a week or so just to hang out and meet people, and or even do production jobs and things like that. Because that was one of the neat things again with this, like a place at the Grand Canyon, at a hotel. We went there with our little mini DV cameras, and we told them, like, we basically produced a infomercial for them for their trade shows. And, they gave us about $5,000 just to go shoot ourselves jumping into the pool and sit by the bar having a little sip of a cocktail and walking someone else's dog through the little dog park. Just did simple clips, went down in their basement, put it together on their computer, bam, and had them a nice little thing. So we'd do stuff like that and hang out and use production and use media and technology to get involved and make some funds for the trip and help people out with music videos or whatever they wanted to do. So different ways of trying to keep the momentum, because we basically had no funds when we were kind of going, just relied on friends, family, people that we met. And one of the other big things that we did was we made tie-dyes, and each time we finished a section of the walk, which is broken into 7 different sections based on the shock, we're like, I really want to get one of these shirts now, so I'm going to be placing my order, I think, for sure after this show, because yeah, that's a great idea, and I love the shockers down the middle. But yeah, we were doing chakra t-shirts each section, like with the different colors and stuff like that as we went through, and that was another thing that we would do to raise funds and present different things.
Well, Since you brought up the tie-dyes and some of the experiences, you have a video clip that we can show some of the stuff. So why don't we play that, and then we can come back and highlight some of those things. That,
yeah, it'd be great. This is a clip of a bunch of different spots along the walk, and it's played along with some music. Like I said, we recorded music along the way. So this is one of our music tracks, Let's Step, and yeah, some clips.
Like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step.
Some wonder what is he hippie or gypsy, drug dealing or pimping, why he limping, legs tied from all his cross country living, mind driven, but I ain't driving. Feet to the ground with my head in the sky, and stepping on nails, gotta keep it striding. No matter when I get there, it's perfect timing. Still LA residing, but I'm New York bound. Left the jury to be a judge in a new court now, and illuminate the world with a newborn sound. Sounds good from up here, I gotta hold it down. But since I know it now, seems sometimes I don't know how. Left following my soul where I'm going now. And shit's moving fast, gotta slow it down. But through the looking glass, things probably looking bad, but things ain't always what they seem. But I'm like, so now you know you don't always fit your jeans, but you try to keep it clean and punch a hole in your belt just to keep them off your knees. They don't know you losing weight just because you couldn't eat. Now what could it be that keeps me moving? Everyone's a place.
Say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step. Say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step.
Meet you, brother, in the street. You're the kind of people that I like to meet. I'm a soul that forever will roam, sharing peace and love of my own, learning things about us every day, learning how we talk and how we play. Get lifted, you're gifted. Open your eyes so wide, they've been shifted. You listen, the voice within yourself, sending all your thoughts to Orion's belt. And as we travel, so thankful for the land, from the sands we have risen to mountains and grasslands. A helping hand will bring out the whole band. Try and understand, help them up with a new plan. Where all my roots, nowhere to be found. The transcending power, walking on the ground. Without a sound, we observe. Jump back to the start of a curve. Without a voice, we just listen. Drift off to sleep, who are you kissing? Now that we're here, let's stay connected. Now that we're here, let's stay connected. We're gonna walk from LA to New York. Meet new people, ask new questions, learn new lessons, new progressions, new directions. People can go, let's go. We can be free from all the hypocrisy. If you go inside, you can be alive.
This is nothing compared to what's in store,
It's
though.
always on your
This
side.
is a city here.
It's always on your side.
Let's see him out.
It's always on your side. I'm about to check the atlas and find direction. You can find us walking through each section. Broadcast live to the world to see. Shining our lights, Illumination TV. Yeah, that's the network. Pass the word around. It's time to network. Pass some love around. And pass the love around.
They say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step. Say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step.
So wonderful, this life I lead. Every day, get up, stretch and breathe. Give thanks to the one for whom I believe. Walk into a city, plant a seed and leave. And it's so nice to live this way. Don't gotta worry about a job or bills to pay. Take time each day to love and play. Give my best and try to manifest a place to stay. For the United Souls crew, I'll stay in true. And we'll be walking through a town near you. So keep your eyes open, we'll be bringing the arts. And I hope you can accept us with open hearts. Cause in our hearts we got nothing but love to give. Home is where I roam and in this moment's where I live. Home is where I roam and in this moment's where I live. Home is where I roam and in this moment's where I live. Trail, making our way down to Deep Creek, where we'll find a nice little hot spring, natural hot spring that's carved into the mountain, and that's where we'll set up camp tonight. Relax, chill in the nice, hot, warm, natural waters, and try and soak our, battle wounds from the day.
Hey friends, this is what you call the walker. Ow! Walking through bush. Yes. This is the dumpster, live on the freeway, on our way to Las Vegas, Nevada. We just left Gene. We've been there for a while. The rail invention. Those guys are cool. But behind us, we see this sort of windstorm that is coming up and building up as we have been walking. We're going to walk a little bit more because we don't know if it's coming toward us or not. But this is just another footage live from the road. Okay, we're at about 110 degrees. 110 degrees in the heat on the 15 highway.
Okay, so you're going to tell us a little bit about that journey. I mean, obviously 4,000 miles.
Yeah.
We got to see some pretty nasty weather along the way.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything. We pretty much would encounter people saying, we had a common saying, people would say to us like, why did you pick this time to walk through here at this time of year? Because we pretty much walked through the desert in the worst time you could walk through the desert. We walked through the mountains, like through blizzards, the worst time you could walk. We kind of ended up hitting those aspects, but it was definitely a test of like a mind power test of what you can kind of put your mind to make those kind of things, and just kind of taking things step by step and just like, not looking at the overall overwhelming thing of walking across, but we really were able to break it down and really enjoy the moment. Each day was like an 8 or a 9 hour just meditation, with the self, which was kind of the hardest part about the walk, is dealing with yourself for 8 hours a day for a year. I mean, because we would walk together and a lot of times we'd be mixing it up, singing songs, saying stuff, but a lot of times we'd separate, we kind of just gradually gravitate, and you just were, in your head. So it was like a year's worth of kind of just being in your head, just being able to think about stuff and organize things, and that get crazy sometimes, just trying to organize thoughts in the head and stuff like that.
So you talked about kind of pulling apart and sometimes separating, and you already told me this story, but for the people who are watching, I'd love for you to relate. And this is kind of one of those things that leads to persevere and push on. But really early in your journey, we watched some of that section where you saw that nasty cloud and the nasty weather. And
Oh, yeah.
that was a pretty amazing event for you guys to go through. Do you want to tell about that?
Those clips had a lot of little lead-ins of ongoing clips that we have a lot of that we're actually chopping up to put into a series. But things like that, like live on the scene weather reports, and we got involved with some pretty nasty stuff and dealt with the elements, and got stuck in hailstorms and windstorms and dust storms and blizzards and just horrible heat and things like that in the middle of the desert. But it was we learned a lot of lessons early on. I was telling Brian we had helicopter rescue rides off the bat, search party teams, four-wheel drive ambulances taking members back for hypothermia, a little bit of everything. Like I said, we got to taste a little bit of all the elements. And I remember even one time when we were walking, when we got to the Grand Canyon, we walked down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and then it took us about maybe like 5 hours to walk to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, but 15 hours to walk up. And it was definitely a couple miracles that happened on our way up where we probably wouldn't have made it out alive. And we were kind of praying for another helicopter rescue ride, but that didn't happen. But we definitely were, so it was, just kind of keeping focus and trying to break it down into kind of just, step by step, and kind of just keep walking.
So one of the things that you mentioned is that you have a lot of this footage and you're working on cutting that together. So we've been working on trying to get some of that out. And how long do you think it might take for you to edit that? And then what are your plans for that?
Well, considering 10 years up to now, as far as how much more time, it's been a lot of different, again, like trials and tribulations of, it was probably about 200 hours worth of footage from different cameras and different small digital cameras and mini DV cameras. But now we've got it down into about 7 like 1 hour episodes. Brian's huge in helping out with some computer power now that we need to really put the finishing touches on this type of a thing. And that corresponds to how I was mentioning the chakras. We broke our walk into 7 different sections. So for example, like Venice Beach to Las Vegas, that was the first section of the walk. And that was the root chakra, the color red, the key of C. The theme of that chakra and the theme of that section is survival, and each theme and each color, we kind of just on our own as a creative group just investigated those type of things, because that was another cool thing with our group. Each one of us that were walking had kind of our own unique way of expressing themselves. Like my personal one was visual. So I did a lot of painting and color work, and so I would be investigating those sounds. Other guys were musicians or dancers or poets or filmmakers, so we all had a specialty that we were trying to teach one another and learn from other people. So that was kind of one way that we broke the walk up, as far as like the 7 different sections and 7 different colors, 7 different notes, and that was a really amazing way to kind of like feel it out as we went, and it kind of really felt those emotions and those chakras kind of like balance in a real way as we went, so we were definitely tuned in to that type of vibration for sure.
So obviously, you're going to have that footage, and we'll hopefully share that with people as you get out. But we'll kind of get towards the end of the journey, because that starts the next step of the life and puts you in this area. So
and that was one of the things when we were on our walk. We were visiting a lot of different, we were searching out intentional communities, meeting all kinds of travelers, meeting people that were woofing, going around doing work share type of programming and things like that. And so that was something that really hit me hard on our walk, and the people and the types of things that we were experiencing. And I'm originally sort of from this area. More of my parents and family are from the Allentown area. And so I was kind of up around this area. My family actually lives up in this area, though, now. My parents, as far as over in New Ringgold. And I was coming back from the trip, and I was actually about ready to, I had bought the woofing directory for Costa Rica, and I was kind of looking at South America, and I was like, okay, I've done the States, I'm ready to go to another country now and not be here anymore, basically. And I found this place where we're at now, Stonehenge Gardens. I had met Tom Morose down at a Intentional Communities meeting, people in Bethlehem getting together. So I was kind of wondering a little more information about what people were doing around this area, and met Tom, and yeah, he said, stop by Stonehenge and see what's going on over there. And I fell in love with the place as soon as I walked onto the grounds, and just started getting involved and volunteering day one. And now this has been like, since then, the last 10 years of my life has been in this area as a creative artist, working on projects, volunteering at Stonehenge, helping out with programming. And out of that, we developed lots of events and kind of a artist collective that we call the Seed House. And that's something that we're still working on today and progressing. And now that the Seed House works with Stonehenge and trying to help with creative ideas and volunteers, and developing, you know, some creative programming as well.
So obviously you mentioned the Seed House, and can you tell us a little bit more about what the Seed House is? Yeah,
it definitely kind of like came out of this idea of kind of the, with a seed, like the birthplace of ideas, the birth, you know, to let a place where they could grow. And Stonehenge Gardens was actually the, you know, the big inspiration for that, and kind of where it all assembled and got together here, with allowing artists and people to kind of come and express themselves freely. So we kind of formed a little collective that we were starting to go around and do different events at Stonehenge, and then just locally around in the area, and has already given birth to so many different artistic troupes and circuses and other ideas and events that just kind of, from a group of people just kind of getting together on these grounds. So it's been exciting how it's all grown from there.
And now you have a place of residence for artists, but the next step, you know, you have a big step that you starting to work on now.
Yeah, one of the biggest dreams that we've all kind of talked about with a lot of the artists and a lot of our friends is just having space to be creative. And that's like one of the biggest resources that we're all looking for. And Stonehenge is an amazing place for space, but then having building space, industrial space, where we can work on computers, technology, science, art, and bring all those kind of things together, and join the makerspace movement. I know probably some people are familiar with makerspace, hacker spaces, collaborative, creative locations where innovation and technology kind of come together, and it's almost like a YMCA type of a model, where you would have a membership for these type of places, and it's just, you know, full with like I said, computers, wood shop, metal shop, glass blowing, textiles, all generations, all ages, you know, everybody kind of working together and following their passions, or finding out their passions and trying to develop or get that spark, you know, to further their ideas or collaborations. So that's the exciting spot that we're at now, that we've been working with locally in the town of Tamaka with the local community groups to find a proper building that we can kind of take over and start to develop into, you know, this type of a model. And we finally have, you know, found a really great building that we're going to kind of start with that, you know, with that dream and space to be able to welcome in creative collaborations in.
So with that, you're looking at sourcing some money to kick off the purchase of this building. So you want to tell us about
Sure.
how you're doing that?
Yeah, we're going to be having, throughout the summertime, we're going to be trying to have some raffles, have events. One of the projects and things that I love doing is making these tongue drums. These are actually made of propane tanks, and kind of cut the tongues into them. But yeah, we're gonna raffle this off. If you go to the Seed House, theseedhouse.net, we have raffle tickets available to try to win this drum. This is the last one that I had made, and it's to a B scale, and yeah, this is one of the things that I've been make throughout the year and kind of a part of this hackerspace movement. And one of the first things that we're raffling off. So if you visit the website and get a raffle ticket, you're directly going to support us just getting this building back together. Because you can imagine, as kind of starving artists and support structures, that the type of building that we get is going to need some love and going to need some work. So everything from just cleanup to innovations, and we've already had so many amazing donations of equipment from even from Brian, from wood shop type of possibilities, and our other friend Stephen Gooddale from the Weatherly Institute. All kinds of robotic equipment that we have right now to play around with, and computers. So we're just going to be, we're opening ourselves up. And I know myself, I have just stuff buried in my basement that I just can't get to, or I just don't have space to use it properly. So this is a spot that we can all utilize and become members and work together. If you have that stuff that you just haven't had the time or the space to utilize it, this is what this type of a space is for, to collaborate and work with like-minded people and, brainstorm and come up with ideas and things like that. So really excited about the possibilities in developing that.
Cool. So we'll throw this up one last time. It's pretty easy. TheSeedHouse.net.
TheSeedHouse.net. And that's where we also put out a lot of our upcoming arts and creative events, and anything that we're working on. You can find out information through, for the surrounding area about that.
So then we meet, and we meet here, and I guess that's a good point that we get to talking a little bit about what we have going on here, because there's a lot happening here right now. Definitely. And one of the first ways that you and I came together here is because of the permaculture connection. And we have some amazing things happening here. We just had a training here today. And we've done, I think it's 3 introductory permaculture trainings. And Alexis Campbell and Scott Mann have been facilitating and teaching up here. But just even through this movement here in the gardens, we have a pretty large scale event coming up in June. I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's going to be our first permaculture convergence, a Pennsylvania permaculture convergence, a whole weekend of permaculture learning, hands-on activities. We have all kinds of workshops and demos. We've invited a lot of the best of what Pennsylvania has to offer and beyond, of practitioners and teachers that we're inviting out to share their resources and information and ideas. We have our tickets on sale now at the stonehenge.us website. And it's very exciting. I've produced a lot of different types of events, and I'm really happy being a part of this event because it's extremely focused on the kinds of stuff that really we need to start pulling together and learning about and observing what's going on in nature and the natural systems of things. And I do like how it reflects as well as with, whether you're working on your garden or homestead, and it works on the self, and it works with community, and just these really observational type of learning and working together. And I think that's going to be a big theme on this weekend that we're putting together, of kind of creative community and how we can all work together. And I'm excited because it's going to be somewhat of a limited event. So we're going to keep it nice and small and keep it intimate. So I'm excited to see what we can all come up with together and learn. And basically the schedule for that will be a Friday and Saturday heavy on workshops and learning together and some possible panel conversation type of things. And then the last day on Sunday will be a hands-on building and things like that. So we can get into learning and building and getting into the dirt a little bit, doing some cob, straw bale demo type of things, and a portable forge to start playing around with some metalworking and things. So I think there'll be a lot to offer everyone, all walks of life, including a complete kids track. There's we're getting a lot of help from Jen Mendez from Permy Kids, a great organization, and she's helping out with suggestions and developing a whole kids track for the kids, so they have their whole permaculture experience within the event as well. So it's really shaping up, and couldn't be more excited about that.
So below, you'll see website, stonehenge.us/PAPC, but even if you just go to the stonehenge.us, you'll see some stuff on the homepage that can link you through to some of the people who are presenting. But we'll be sure to put out an announcement probably in the next couple days. I said that I'm not going to usually sit in this seat. This will be the Kevin seat, and we're not sure who's going to be next in that chair, but we do know that one of the things is we're going to be pulling from some of the amazing roster of participants in our committee planning. So what we'll plan on doing is probably our next live stream will be specifically talking about the permaculture convergence. So we'll let you guys know on the Facebook page. And as long as we're talking about Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and do that subscribe thing, because that's how you'll get notifications of when we put out new videos. And certainly hop over to the TieDye TV Facebook page and like us, or at least follow us, and that will give us a way of communicating with you. One of the cool things I want to tell people about, and I'm kind of just was so excited about getting started and just didn't really do it. But the cool thing with this, even, you know, it's nice when we have a group here and we've done a couple circles with the small trainings. But with doing this live streaming, it still is an interactive tool. And you guys can't see this, but over the top of Kevin's shoulders, we have another screen here, and I can actually see the YouTube screen, and there's a chat window there, and it allows us to interact live. And that's one of the things, you know, it's really easy to put out one of these pieces of content as a blog or video blog or just a podcast, but it loses that two-way interactivity, and that's one of the things that we've really been focusing on in developing this system. So ongoing, as we build the audience will have a way of actually participating in these conversations. But long as we're talking about some of the things that we have coming up, do you want to talk a little bit about the possibility of doing some music?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of going to be a goal of ours to be developing content, at least starting off on Fridays at 8 o'clock, you know, trying to get a regular situation, whether it's conversations. And one thing we're excited about is bringing some music experiences and some music programming coming up. We've been reaching out to a lot of our friends that have bands and other local area bands and things like that to do some really intimate type of, you know, concerts where we can get to know the members a little bit, have some interviews with them, as well as play music in this great facility, and then again beyond, and going out to some other locations to meet up with people. So I'm really excited about being able to just be developing content. And you know, we have coming up, at least for sure, we have the Whiskey Hicken Boys. They're going to be doing a performance, and that's going to be here at Stonehenge. May 12th, something to look forward to. We're going to be doing a show with the band Starwood down in Philadelphia. They're going to be coming up this way June 9th, I believe. And like lots of other dates that will start being announced on the TieDye TV schedule. And to keep checking, but make sure that you check in with us week to week about what kind of programming is going to be coming up. Like I said, whether it's a community conversation, panel discussion, or but it'll be something interesting and something.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're really hoping to do here is to kind of engage our community, and obviously it's great to interview somebody and talk about your experiences, but part of the goal with this is to share art and creativity, and my TieDye TV kind of has a little slogan about creativity and positivity, and there's so much cool stuff we're doing here that we're making the difference that we want to see in the world, and so certainly we look forward to having you as audience members join us in this journey that we're going on. But anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up. It's almost been an hour, and we we'll certainly be able to do this again. Maybe I'll get a chance to train a couple guys to sit behind the board, so I don't have to be doing this right-hand thing all the time. But
yeah, I want to jump behind the board a couple times too. I love all this technology, and as like I said, it's been a great relationship. But this is something that I've always been dreaming about, being able to play around with. And like I said, 10 years ago on our walk, this is what we were envisioning and trying to start a online TV station and get content and share it worldwide. 'Cause it's just amazing that you can do that and inspire people, and then have the people inspire you back. And that's kind of like one of my main things that I just love seeing develop, is just that inspiration kind of flowing all around, between people.
So I want to say thanks to those who are watching live, and for those of you who are watching the recorded YouTube feed and missed out on the live, don't miss out on the live stuff coming up. Certainly jump over to the Facebook page, like us, check out our event schedule. We'll be putting things as we develop our schedule out there for you to find. And I just want to say thanks to Kevin for being here tonight. And
thank you, appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks for all the things we get to do together. I'm looking forward towards that facility and the things that could be as a central core to some revitalization here in this anthracite region. So,
yeah, I think so.
So anyway, I want to just say thanks and so long.